All right, everyone, we're continuing the live stream. Thanks for watching. And I've got Martin here next to me. Martin, tell us, what's the name of your company and what does it do?
Our company is called,
talk like this.
Our company is called General Byte. We make infrastructural components for blockchain technology. Basically, it boils down to point of sale terminals, Bitcoin ATMs, also altcoin ATMs, and any hardware project like we had the Red Bull Bitcoin accepting Red Bull vending machine, which now also works with Litecoin. And yes, this is, and we keep like innovating. So it's if there is anything hardware related, because when we started, we noticed that blockchain is great, Bitcoin great, or cryptocurrency is fantastic, but it's very software-wise. It never really gets out of the head. So we wanted to make it more real. So bridge the blockchain technology with objects in the real world. So the first application was like money, Bitcoin as a currency. That went very well, but gradually we're looking at other solutions like authentication, authenticity, anti-counterfeiting, all those applications.
Okay, great.
So we're actively trying to find new applications for blockchain technology.
Okay. All right, so here at the venue there is a Bitcoin and Litecoin ATM. Is that from you guys?
Correct.
Okay, so what's the name of that ATM?
The small one or the bigger one?
There's a touch screen where I can it just has a big touch screen. Is that the big one?
The Neon, yeah, that's the BATM3.
The Neon, right.
Yeah,
what's it called?
It's the BATM3. It's a two-way machine. It started out as a Bitcoin only ATM, but we found after market feedback, we found by adding more coins, we actually increase functionality. We opened that part so anyone can add their own coins, and as of yesterday, we now have two-way Litecoin operations. As far as I know, we're the first company to offer two-way Litecoin ATMs.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And because here at the event, you have to use Bitcoin or Litecoin to pay for everything, so you have these cards that you load up, and and then you can pay with a non-touch card. And everyone, well, not everyone, I would say the majority of the people are using Litecoin because of the transaction fee. So that's I already said before, but that's a pretty interesting use case. I mean, that's real life, and so maybe that theory holds true that some altcoins will be used for buying coffee, as the meme says. But I think mostly people have been using it to buy alcohol here. And I haven't seen anyone use Pepe Cash, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that question actually, because I wanted to ask you: is the software? Well, first of all, can I buy one of these ATMs?
Of course, yes. There is a little bit of a lead time, unfortunately. We're not happy about that either. When we started, we also always had some stock. But sales have been growing exponentially, which is of course nice, but it's not so nice if we have to disappoint people that they really have to wait a few weeks, or sometimes like a month or so before their ATM is finished. So we just opened up an extra factory for the new production line. So we have 2 production lines, but if I look at it now, that's already not enough. So we'll be expanding again. We doubled the amount of employees, so yes, it's going crazy. How is that? Your questions coming in?
Oh, I'm just they're really admiring our beards. So that's the main comment coming in so far.
If you're in blockchain, you have to grow a beard. That's my idea. I will shave when the Bitcoin reaches 5,000. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's timestamped that somebody. He's going to shave when Bitcoin reaches 5,000. So, all right. So, is the software open source for your machine?
We want to eventually open source everything. Right now, the changes are going so fast that it would make no sense because that would cost lots of forks.
Okay.
So for now, we only open source the part where you can add your own exchanges, your own wallets, rate source tickets, rate sources, and of course cryptocurrency. So if you want to add Pepe Cash, you're more than welcome. Yes.
Okay, so when I buy it, I would, even though it's not fully open source, if I do buy one, I could add whatever altcoin or token, or I could do the first ever, which maybe could be one of your projects, ICO ATM.
Exactly. Currently we support Ethereum. The idea is that by being blockchain agnostic, basically, it doesn't matter which blockchain. If people do a pull request, we'll be happy to incorporate it in the GitHub and then take the changes. So I think in the future of money will be cryptocurrencies. I mean, this is obvious, but like for example, a theme park. You know, they have like I'm not calling any names. They usually have like in theme park currency.
Yeah.
So what I'm guessing will happen in the future is that people will get their ticket. They'll use the blockchain, you know, to have the ticket and to prevent counterfeiting of the ticket. They'll swap some money over for the local cryptocurrency that's used in the theme park, and they'll probably use the theme park app as their wallet. So this way we hope, or we're working on supplying all those different infrastructural components, so it will become a sort of like plug and play, which of course it isn't, because of the open nature. There's some things you really need to configure, like you have to select a wallet, you have to select an exchange, and being in, say, in Japan will make you want to select another exchange than being, say, in Europe or in the US.
So there's you mean exchange in order to get the price feed, and then also I can connect my own wallet on my own server, or I could connect via API and give the API keys withdrawal allowance, and then they could just do it directly from the exchange, or is that what you mean? With
the idea is like with cryptocurrency ATMs, you know, volatility, we've got used to it, but if you run an ATM business, that can be killing. You know, you wake up one day, you're all out of business, but because the price went down and you bought the bitcoins for way too much. So to prevent this whole volatility thing, because most of ATM operators, they're not into gambling, they're like business operators, so they need some sort of stability. So what we do is, whenever somebody scans their address and puts some money in, it will purchase the coins on the exchange. So if you like have some credit on Coinbase, you can sell like Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, and it will just buy it on Coinbase, so that there's no currency volatility. You just set your percentage, and
so you're basically, so the software basically allows you to do real-time arbitrage to get your spread if you're an operator, and you can control the spread.
Arbitrage would have like several exchanges at the same time.
Yeah, well, I mean, the person buying it is what buying or selling is the one exchange. Correct. Your point of, and then I can have. Could I connect another exchange? So I have two.
Yes.
So then I could do two exchange. See what I mean?
You can have a separate exchange for buy and a separate exchange for sell.
Okay.
You can configure backup exchanges.
Okay.
Like
well, that sounds really interesting.
With like Bitfinex wouldn't be the first time, but you can just switch in say a few seconds, and you're over to Bitstamp or Coinbase or Kraken.
Or what about? Have you thought of making the software that, you know, basically automatically looks for the best deal at that time?
Thank you. I will put in a feature request.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm sure people. No. I think other people have either thought of that or they do it manually. You know what I mean? When if they have time to get the order in, or they have to order a block of Bitcoin if they see high demand. Correct. But I mean, you could theoretically do it where, you know, it's just you have the API of 5 or 10 exchanges, and it's also looking at the order book to make sure there's enough depth to get the order through, and then it's like, okay, right now I get, you know, $1 discount or $5 discount or whatever at this exchange, so just buy it there.
That's a very good idea.
You know what I mean?
We'll definitely pick it up. Yes.
Well, with some of the altcoins, it can get really. There's a big difference. You know what I mean in that, but of course they're not as liquid. Okay, so just to go on to another topic, what I have heard is that in Amsterdam you have a Potcoin ATM and there's a big weed plant next to it. Is that right?
Well, yeah, it was the Potcoin guys that asked us if we wanted to support Potcoin, and of course, you know, we're just the DJ. So any coin we implement, any coin we have no preference in that respect. So yes, we needed a Kodak moment. So the only place where you can do that in Amsterdam is in Amsterdam. Just getting some pot plants. Yeah, we are not selling any Potcoins myself. It is purely in a test phase now. But I think it's one of those typical vertical applications. The marijuana industry really has a cash flow problem in the US. I mean, as in cash doesn't flow because you can't deposit it in a bank account.
Right.
The risks are quite serious. The chances of robberies and increase because there's huge amounts of cash stored in warehouses all over the US. Even though it's legalized on a state level, on a federal level, you see that they're denied from having a bank account, which is problematic. So by offering support in point of sale and ATMs for currencies like Bitcoin, we hope to be able to take the cash flow problem out of those dispensaries. For example, if you would like to have a two-way ATM at a dispensary, you charge everything in Bitcoin. Then in case, for example, people who bring their own Bitcoin will be able to purchase at the marijuana dispensary, while people who need to buy Bitcoin will have to put the ATM in the machine. Well, if you make the fee percentage a little bit higher, so it's attractive enough for people to purchase the coins on Coinbase instead of the ATM at the dispensary, then the ATM will still, the dispensary will still get the Bitcoin or the Potcoin or whatever coin, while at the same time, they will not have the cash flow problem. They will not get the cash.
I wonder what Coinbase's terms of services are if they find out you're using Bitcoin at it. I mean, it's like you said, it's legal on the state level, but not the federal level. I don't know if that violates.
Well, I always tell everybody.
But anyway,
Coinbase is not a wallet. You know, people should realize that Coinbase is not a wallet. It's it's an exchange. But if the dispensaries, on the other hand, would give a discount in selling cash, accepting Bitcoin and selling cash, then that would be a great way for them to get rid of the excess cash.
Definitely.
And once it's in Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin, it's global.
Okay, so we do have questions about how much and stuff, but let me just, I think a simple way, and also because we don't have a nice picture right here, just tell us your website so they can check that out while we're still talking.
Yeah,
so everyone can just open up another tab and check it out.
www.generalbytes.com.
Okay, so General Bytes, bytes as B-Y-T-E-S, right, or not?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, okay, okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. All right, so all right, well. So I did see the Red Bull machine that takes Bitcoin and Litecoin, or just one?
Well, we hacked it. We hacked it yesterday. Last minute. Everything is last minute.
Okay.
We hacked it yesterday to work with Litecoin as well.
All right, that's pretty cool.
We created for Red Bull last year. They gave us the machine. As long as we would make it work with Bitcoin, they weren't really prepared for the social sharing and caring that followed. So they didn't know how to answer. But the idea was like, we take the Red Bull machine, we take out the coin mechanism, we use the same Bitcoin computer as we use in our ATM, so that was already there, the software was already half finished, so it's quite easy. And then instead of having the coin acceptor, we 3D printed a replacement with NFC, so you can use your chip implant, or you can use the NFC cards you just showed to pay for your fizzy drink.
Okay. All right. So let's say that I have a marijuana dispensary or a cafe, or I don't know. There's a lot of applications, and I don't know. I want to make a weed vending machine, or I just want to have a vending machine with snacks or drinks or whatever. So can I buy the module thing I need to insert into the thing, or how? Because that's a little tricky because every vending machine is slightly different. Correct. So what is the future of that? Because I think it's a real interesting. That has potential.
Correct.
Because what if there are things that people don't want to buy? Maybe there's some things that people don't want to buy or are embarrassed to buy from a person, maybe, or that just you don't need to have a person, and then you could do cryptocurrency for that. There's a lot of possible applications for that, I think.
This was like a prototype machine, Parallelnipolis. We really like it here because it is our test bed for most new technologies. So we have a sort of eat your own dog food policy. If we don't like to use it ourselves, we're not selling it either.
Well, that's a good policy.
You know, I think
that's a good policy.
Like the Cortex Pay point of sale terminal, we wanted at least 50,000 transactions on it, flawless. And a lot of times people are just selling hot air, especially in blockchain. So we don't like that. We'd rather have a real product.
Okay, good. Real product, no vaporware here.
No vaporware.
Okay, good. We have a question from the studio audience.
Excellent, that's excellent.
Are you definitely plans to take Bitcoin Cash?
Do you have any plans? Okay, thanks, Nindy. Check out nindy.co.uk. Thanks for the question. I want to tie that into another question because we do have a lot of discussion about SegWit, No 2X or whatever the hell that thing is called, and then there's Bitcoin Cash, and then there's BitGold, and there's other new fork slash. I mean, not a fork in the sense that they've created an altcoin, but these new things that are happening, whatever name you want to attribute to it. So, and you guys are also operating some ATMs yourself. So how do you deal with, the exchanges have to deal with these things, and you guys also. So what is the policy about like the upcoming No or 2X and No 2X controversy?
Although I have my personal opinions about all those forks, we remain neutral. So we implement anything. So if somebody implements it before we get the time to implement it, and they do a pull request on our GitHub, we'll just take it in and support it.
Okay.
There are some practical problems with supporting Bitcoin Cash at the moment. I hope we can solve them, and it will be like very confusing for end users because they'll see Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, the logos will look very similar, but more importantly, the address format is the same. So the machine will not be able to see whether you scanned a regular Mycelium wallet Bitcoin address or whether you scanned your Bitcoin Cash address. So if people don't know this, they will purchase the wrong coin because they'll select Bitcoin Cash because it's the cheap Bitcoin and they don't know any better. So they'll select Bitcoin Cash and will want to transfer it to their existing Bitcoin wallet, which will never arrive because quite frankly, it's a different blockchain. So this is a bit of the problem we're having right now with implementing it, but we get so many requests, so yes, we're working on it. And I believe there's more people, and it's not just us working on it. So whether one of our clients implements it first and then does a pull request, or whether we finish it first and do a pull request, I don't know, but yes, it's definitely in the pipeline. And all those other coins, well, the market will decide, really. As I said, we're blockchain agnostic.
So let's say that I'm from an altcoin community. Yeah. So I could just go on your GitHub and check out the code and say, okay, I'm gonna, do whatever I need to do to implement our coin, and then do the pull. Okay, tell us what to do.
You need to implement a rate source. So, for example, if you're selling, I'll use Bitcoin because it's easy to route. You need a rate source. So, what rates are you using? Well, usually the most logical way would be the rate source that corresponds with your exchange, because otherwise it makes no sense. So, a rate source, a wallet interface, which is important, like at a minimum should be like a core wallet, or no core node wallet. Preferably something web-based where you keep your own private keys, because that makes it easier for operators to implement instead of having to run another wallet. And exchange interface for buy and preferably for sell too. So that's all. And do a pull request. Our programs will pick it up, and yes, you'll be live next version.
Okay, I have another question. I have not, because I haven't really, I haven't done a stress test at the Neon ATM with this particular attack. That's just the pick it up and walk out attack. So I haven't really. So I have carried and picked up Lamasu a few times, and they're fucking heavy.
No, they're actually.
I mean, it's heavy enough. I mean, you can carry it as one person, but the way it's kind of bulky, or at least the older one that I was carrying was, and so it was preferable to have two people carrying it, so you don't have to kind of. It kind of was really, but it was heavy, so the chances of someone grabbing it and running out were relatively low. Sure, if it was really packed and that you had two guys go in there and one guy punch everyone out or whatever, then maybe you could take a Lamasu. There are these other ones. That are forgot the name, Skyhook or something like that.
They're dead now.
They're dead now. Okay. Well, that was cool because it was open source. And you could do the altcoins and stuff, but they were tiny.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was thinking if you had that somewhere, you would have to mount it on concrete slab, or I don't know what you want to have to do. So what about you guys?
The small ATMs, the ATM2s, which are like the one-way ATMs, if people recognize them as the bright little yellow ATMs, they can be mounted on the wall.
Right.
But we found that many US locations, the entire US is just drywall. It's no brick wall. So you can't hang an ATM on a drywall. But there's very few brick walls, so this is something we didn't even realize when making the ATM. So one of our US operators created this cool metal stand, and we just we were very excited, so we took it to production, and it's now a spare stand for the small ATM, which you can bolt to the floor with like a chemical seal, the same way you mount a safe deposit box.
Okay.
It's like it's with camera. You drill a hole.
So now we're telling everyone how it's all done, so they can figure out how to reverse that, right? Little step by step. Right. So tell us more.
It's a tried and tested way of securing stuff to the floor.
Someone is testing out, getting the welding equipment out right now.
The Lamas, who you just mentioned, was around 50 kilograms. That's without that stand. Our BATM3, the one with the neon, is 105. And I believe the XXL model, which we built specifically for Brooklyn-based operators because they needed a bit extra security, that has a safe, and that's like 200 something kilos, so you'll definitely break your back trying to drag that one out of the shop. Yeah.
Okay, right. All right, that's it. That's pretty interesting. I like that. So you've thought about it. Well, you've thought about it because that's what I mean. The Skyhook, it was, I guess that was 2014 when I saw it, but it was such a cool.
It was a nice.
And when I saw yours, I thought of it because the touch screen and it had altcoins and it was pretty simple to use and all that kind of stuff. So that's what reminded me of that. And you also thought it was kind of a cool little machine.
I liked it because I wanted to order a few at the time. Before I joined General Bytes, I was ATM operator myself.
Oh, okay.
And in 2013 and 2014, I had more bitcoins than cents. So I would purchase any model that would come on the market. And the Skyhook one, I just canceled the order just in time because it wouldn't accept 50 euro bills.
Okay.
And in Amsterdam, nobody buys Bitcoin for 20 euros, at least 50 euros. That's like, so it wouldn't even accept the most common note.
Okay.
It was very much designed with a US only focus.
Okay.
This is,
All right. Okay, I just want to do a quick check. How much time do we have left on our stream today? Half hour? 45 minutes?
Half hour.
Half hour, okay, cool. Studio guest, do you want to come on or are you just hanging out? Okay. Just a little bit about yesterday, just general. Is that okay? Do we have anyone else in the studio that's a guest? No. Okay, cool. Just checking. Okay. All right. Then I would say tell us where we can find a list of your ATMs and I guess at General Bytes, and just give us a quick rundown of some cities where you can or cafes that you can find some. And tell us your website and tell us where we can follow you and all that kind of stuff.
Our website is generalbytes.com. You can find most ATMs worldwide, not just General Bytes ATMs, but any ATMs on the website called coinatmradar.com. Our ATMs push the live rates to that website, so there's no funny surprises with crazy rates. When you decide to purchase some coins, you can see in advance what the rates are. If the machine is online, does it have enough money in there? So that's really that's a nice way to find the ATMs in your area. Location-wise, pretty much everywhere. We are currently market leader in most European countries, not in the US at the moment. We're the second largest producer, but the US, we have a strong competitor. I will not name any names. But yes, it's growing quite fast. Last year we were like 5th in the global ranking of ATM manufacturers, and now we're 2nd. And I think that's just, it's really nice. It shows that people like our products and they trust the company to be there for the next years. We're not planning on going away anytime soon. So yes, it's an exciting time. We've like doubled in staff over the past year. It's, I hope to be able to.
So are you going to ICO now?
No. With the ICOs and also external investors. We've got many people that offer like investment, but that I think with a blockchain company or any Bitcoin-based company, these ICOs are like nice if you just want to go and grab the money. But if you really want to build a company, a lot of times it's better to just start small and grow as soon as demand grows.
Organic TM.
This big bang approach with companies starting, that doesn't work with Bitcoin in my opinion. So no ICO, we'll not ask for any money or shares, and we will not take any investor money. There's like, we don't need any money.
All right, great.
We just don't need your money.
All right, thanks a lot, Martin.
Thank you for much.
Thank you
for having me on your show. I've been a fan for years, and I've never thought I would be like on the show. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Great. Okay.